Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I imagine most of you have started school by this time, and that's a pretty different thing to do school at home. I hope it's going well. I'm down here in the church basement where we usually get together on Sunday mornings, looking forward to when we can get together down here again. So we just came through Easter where we heard stories about Jesus, very hopeful stories. Now we're going to hear stories for the next 6 weeks about people throughout the Bible, different kinds of people. The thing that they have in common is that these people don't have a lot of wealth, like a lot of money, or a lot of power. They're stories about babies and children and adults who might be sick, adults who might be in prison, people who are forgotten. We're going to hear about how God took care of them and how God loved them and how they helped other people as well. So our first story comes from the very first book of the Bible. Many of you might guess that that is Genesis. The story can also be found in your Shine Bible on page 28. So I'm going to light our candle like we often do. We light this candle to remember that God is with us. In this story, there was a woman named Sarah. Sarah wanted her slave Hagar to have a child for her. Slaves had no say. They had to do what people told them to do. And so Hagar became pregnant for Sarah and Abraham. And this made Sarah really jealous and angry, and she started mistreating Hagar. And so Hagar ran away. Can't say I blame her. God saw Hagar, and an angel of God came to talk to her and asked her, Hagar, where do you come from? And where are you going? And Hagar said, my mistress Sarah is treating me poorly. I don't want to stay with her. And the angel said, you know, you're going to have lots of children. Your life will be good. You can go back. So Hagar went back. And soon she had a baby named Ishmael. And after a while, Sarah and Abraham also had a baby. They named him Isaac. When Isaac was old enough to eat solid food, Abraham threw a party. By this time, Ishmael was older. He was a big brother to Isaac, and a good one, I think. He played with Isaac. They had a good time together. At the party, Sarah saw Ishmael and Isaac playing together, and she began wondering if Ishmael would get some of their wealth, if Ishmael would inherit some of their money and other things, and this made her upset and angry, and I think a bit scared. And so she told Abraham, Hagar and Ishmael have got to go. And this made Abraham really sad because he loved Ishmael. But he sent off Hagar and Ishmael with some bread and water. The wilderness, the desert is a dry place, and soon that water and that bread was gone. I imagine that Hagar gave some of her bread and water to Ishmael. Parents do that kind of thing. Soon Ishmael got really weak, and Hagar found a bush and laid him down. And she went and she sat down and she cried and she cried. And she said, don't make me watch my child die. And God saw Hagar. And God heard Hagar. And God heard Ishmael. And an angel came to Hagar and said, "Don't be afraid. God loves you. Go and be with Ishmael. Hold him." And so Hagar did. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And so she got water for Ishmael. And he was okay. And he grew up, and he became really good at a bow and arrow. He was a good hunter, and they had a good life. God took care of them. I wonder when you feel angry or really sad and afraid, if you ever sit down and cry. I know I do. But it's good to remember how God loves us, how God takes care of us, and wants what is good for us. I hope you remember that God loves you.